Hello everybody and welcome back to Deckgame episode 4, where this time around we're gonna play some Scandinavia Motorized. Now what most of you probably do not know is that I used to be a fairly frequent Scandinavia Moto player, I guess you could say, before I did these videos. That was during the time when Blue Mech and Blue Moto was at a peak of its meta relevance, when they had still 50 activation points. You could get Eric's units like Legion 90 in mixed and some other stuff. And smoke, of course, was not nearly as frequently used, not even remotely used in a defensive purpose for super heavies. So that was a completely different time. And because I was like, nah, I don't wanna play Blue Mech. I'm not such a tryhard. I was like, I'm gonna play Scandi Mech. Moto. So yeah, I played a lot of it. I was decently successful with it, but it obviously had its weaknesses compared to Blue Moto back in the day. When I think it was also when Hachinana Shiki was 25 points, I believe. Yeah, it was a different time back then. But anyways, so Scandi Moto, quite interesting. You don't see the usual Stormer or Gewehrman in the XA spam in here. Of course, there are some very, say, relevant or frequently seen units like, FSK, although usually, me included, people prefer Falskim Jäger 90 over FSK. Nordlandsjägare are not that uncommon. Obviously, the Leopard 105 NO2 is not that rare. Jäger 90, the Wildcat. But of course, in certain nations, and sometimes, when you don't have a lot of choice, you gotta take the obvious units. But I think especially the infantry tab with the reservist spam should be very interesting. Support tab, rather, I wouldn't say unique because there's not a lot of choices, but some units you don't see very often, namely the Werk and the NM45. But Scandi Moto has, since it's restricted, even more of a awkward AA tab than normal Scandi, of course. For some reason there was one activation point missing. Also, I allowed myself to remove all the naval units because by now, whenever I see units down here, and I look at a deck, I just subconsciously just like, there's something wrong with this deck just by the existence of naval units. And this is not supposed to be a cheap haha naval bad. It's just really, I'm so used to not having any units down there in this tab that having any there really messes with me a bit. But yeah, there's for some reason one activation point missing, so I allowed myself to put in a unit here. So we're gonna put in this recoil as rifle jeep, because actually no, let's put in this one. I feel like recoil as a rifle jeep makes a bit too much sense, given that we're playing Moto. Let's put in this instead. Alright, and then this is gonna be our deck. Planes of path of obviously, mixed of course and obviously. Path obviously, the only seed plane. Wigan SRSF, it's not too bad, not too shabby. Obviously I think most people, including myself, think the F16 is better, but it's still a decent, very formidable backup choice, and also very affordable. The basically garbage version of the Peace Rhine, it's cheaper. It is just purely based on stat worse than a Peace Rhine. You have less range, less accuracy, worse air-to-air missiles, no gun. Okay, you have better ECM, 10% more. I think the Peace Rhine only has 20%. But you get 200 on one on lead as opposed to 2 hard and one on elite for the Peace Rhine, which is, yeah. And then the Draken, which I wouldn't say it's a rare plane to see, but it's a rocket pod plane. I think that's all there is to know. Fennec is clear Tau helicopter. Personally, I feel like the Tau 2 Fennec is obviously a bit underrated. It is a very strong unit, but honestly, having access to like 40 point Tau helicopters, it's fine by me. IKB 105. I just like the look of this thing. Honestly, it looks so weird and interesting. Someone tell me what kind of chassis this is, because I have no clue if this is like a new or like a repurposed chassis or something else. I'm curious. Also, only 4 cards of Recon, which is not really what you want to see in Moto. Then again, Scandi, well, they have some nice Recon units like the Wildcat and M41DK, especially the M41A1. There's not really that many amazing choices. Jäger being the most notable one, I would say, except for basically this line. The M41DK used to be a lot better. I think it even had 70% accuracy, but it for sure had more range, and I think it might have also been 5 points more less expensive. It used to be significantly better. It's still fine. It looks kind of wacky with this really long turret. This one is basically just an M41, but for the same price, you get medium stealth with it, which is great, and the good optics. But you obviously only get 14 down with it, 14. So you know, spamming those in motor deck would make sense since you can afford to take 2 cards and effectively counteract the availability. Tanks, not too much to choose from. Unfortunately, the 103D is not in motorized available, which would have been fine, honestly. Again, air, not much to choose from. Same with artillery. You do have access to the AMOS, and actually Putin has been using the AMOS very aggressively and he swears by the AMOS and thinks it's better than the beacon, which I disagree with, but then again, I haven't played against the Scandi deck yet. Support tab is, you know, it's what it is. Logistics, I should say. Not a fan of 10-point supply trucks because they're so much slower than the 20-point ones. And yeah, infantry tab, obviously, you know, with the reserved spam. Sadly upfitted. I think I might have preferred downwitted because I think you can run out of them easily. The transport, of course, while 5-point and wheeled, has 5 HP and armor, which is very rare. Usually it's either 5 HP and no armor or 10 HP and no armor. I think it's very rare for... Maybe it's even the only unit that has 5 HP and armor. Usually if units have armor, they have at least 10 HP. You know, Storm Engineer. Those are man pads, so don't be surprised by the weird unit card. It's still a leftover from a mod. It's just a visual thing. FSK, Koseka 90, of course, fairly standard. But I think with the lack of shock and line MG3 infantry like Gewehrman and Stormer, infantry combat will be a lot more fire support dependent. Of course, our elite infantry will be still very strong in one-on-one combat, but if it comes down to a heavy grind, we will probably rely a lot on our fire support. I'm not 100% certain how our Herr Vernet, I hope I didn't butcher the name too much, will fare. Especially if the enemy uses a lot of fire support vehicles, a lot of cheap APCs, that's where they're gonna struggle the most because of their horrible anti-tank weapon. But we'll just have to wait and see. In any case, I will see you in just a second when we found the game. And we found ourselves a ranked game against a private. Ooh. Yeah, that's unfortunate. He's also playing blue 4, seen by the fact that we're playing as red. Let's see. I think we could try to go for the town. It depends on what kind of units he has, but if we can get with our Norrlandsjägare and like FSK behind into the town, it would be really, really good for us. Didn't we get him before? Hold up. Did we play against him in like our very first episode on exactly this map? So it wasn't the first one, it was the second one. You're gonna hear me double now in a bit. Alright, hello everyone. Yeah, hello. Yeah, game 2 versus Pharaoh in the NORAD video. I think he... No, it was someone else who messaged me after the game. Yeah, we played against him before. He was playing, I think it was Dutch Drone or something. Might have been Mac, I don't remember. Which is a bit unfair that we now kind of know or have an idea of what he could be playing. Of course, he doesn't have to, but I think we're gonna try to do something in Foxtrot. Gonna take left light for starters. Let's get like some IKVs here. 1 of 5s. Let's get 3 of those. Let's make this our like more heavy focused push, and then keep these in front as like some sort of shields. We want some reservists, but we're gonna keep them behind because we want them to arrive later. Let's get a mortar from it so we can smoke this off. Let's get a Northern squad for that town here. Let's get another one for like this place. Let's get a scout for left. I started valuing this a lot more ever since I faced Putin more on this map, and have a rougher or better idea of how to maneuver around, because this map, while against like players who themselves weren't really 100% certain how to play this map, didn't feel too comfortable, I was doing fine. But when it came to people who used the terrain a lot more efficiently, namely Putin, I had a lot more issues. Let's get like 2 of these as base defense, get 2 for mid, few Werk on the right, and get like, you have 3 front armor. Let's get you as a scout there. Okay. Smoke this off. Oh no, that drive down there. When you tell a lot of units to fast move somewhere, that sometimes messes a lot with their destination. It's a bit tough to explain in the middle of a game, so maybe I'll do it afterwards, or it's in a different video. That's a lot of stuff. Let's get you all down there. Let's get you all down. He's playing Scandi himself as well. Automatic, okay. This could be a very interesting match. Okay, ADGM squad in there. This is okay. They still have 929 HP. That's fine. Let's keep smoking this because he has like the. Oh wow, that's a heavy push here as well. I think I overestimated what he had in mid. We don't have any. We have rocket pods. What? Drive down there. Right, for some reason you don't evac. Oh, that's not a good unit choice. I'm not sure what I got shot down by. It's a Leopard 1, A5. I think only the 1 A5 has like this little thing up there. It's a fighting falcon. 2 fighting, no, 1 fighting falcon. You know, let's get the triple stack of you. I don't know what, I guess I got caught out by some sort of fire support. That was the automatic. Get an Eric squad down there. See if we can move you into the town here. Not very easy so far. So that's mech. Okay, he's playing mech. For sure. I mean, it probably was kind of obvious before, but I didn't check the veterancy, which I should have. Okay, that's what the FSK got caught out by. Presumably. Let's get a seaplane. Because I don't want his automatic to fuck me over. He has it not turned on, turned off. Okay. That's his fighting falcon. Yeah, no, out of range. The basic, the 40.1, 40-point hawks don't have the best range, unfortunately. Let's smoke this off. And get some IKVs. They are kind of nice, the IKVs. Decent for dealing with high Vs at longer ranges. Okay, they are spotted by the Stormer in there. That is not good. Because if he now decides to bomb artillery or whatnot at them, that's gonna be a bit tough since they have such a horrible off-road speed. Let's hope that... I don't think 2 IKVs are enough for fire support. Like they're okay, but 8 RPM 3 HE against 2 elite Stormer squads, even though they're a bit damaged, I don't think that's gonna be enough. I do not think that is going to be enough. Let's not waste you, please. You're also spotted. He probably also moved up Fallskärmsjägare then. On the fob. Probably actually do something with the over there. So IKVs of his own. Okay, we definitely... Oh, 1 second. Alright, just had to sneeze there. Sure, that's 5. Okay, let's get you back to the fob first. Excuse me, what? Oh, they shot at the scout defender. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Fuck, let's get a 4-stack of you. You have how much HE? 3 HE at 7 RPM. Bad accuracy though. Let's move you up 2. Let's get the puff out. You might try to do a bombing run again, so... Start getting some stuff just to make sure this is clear so we can soon get a CV. Okay. Please manage to break. No, you can't. Okay, that's fine. There is the fighting falcon. Oh, he's really going for me, huh? Wow, I dealt 1 damage to him. That's unfortunate. Hawks! You just don't have the range, huh? Werk also didn't do anything. Oh, he's shooting at me without me spotting him? Come on, dude. And then let's get some of you to solve that. Yeah, he has multiple squads in there, or he split them up, either way. You have, yeah, you do have medium optics, which is kind of nice. And now there's the leopards moving up, so we have to be more careful with those IKVs. He can... Oh, he actually does have line of sight to them, huh? There's some micro lags, I guess if you wanna call it. It's a 2-stack, yeah, it is. Undamaged. Oh, that was a bad idea. I was hoping I can get a shot of while he has to reload, but it was way too... 10 RPM and not panicked, you know. Now it's worried, but it wasn't before. It's way too optimistic on my side. He does have AA, so let's try that. I don't... Oh yes. Okay, now this is what I want to see. Oh, that's a fighting falcon again, huh? Haha, there we go. Okay. Oof. Oh, he went for my... I thought he would go for my... I thought he'd go for my infantry. Damn. That's actually horrible. That's well played by him. He still lost his plane at least, so there's that. Okay, those are just ATGM squads, that's fine. CV90s. CV90. Oh god. You're wrecking the scout defender. Oh wow, did you see that ITO missile there? Oh, those are manpads. We don't have any heavy artillery, no we don't. I mean, you don't really get any in Moto, but... That's 2 beacons? Are those 2 beacons today? Holy moly. Okay. It's beacon 1A though, since he's playing mech. Well, I should move these back. I'm gonna keep the IKV here just for like bait, if you wanna call it that. Oh, that's not a smart idea. You know, he's going for that position with his beacons. Sure, let's try this out. Okay, he's busy shooting at the IKVs. He's damaged, so it's gonna be one shot. Oh, you're supposed to shoot at that? Oh, you actually did get killed. Okay, now let's try this again. Let's get our own 1F5 I know too. You're up and running again, that's good. I guess he has ATGM. No, actually we killed the ATGM squad. Okay, let's get this in there. Let's get the recon up maybe. I think he will still spot the recon though. He also moves his manpads up, I believe, so I have to be careful. This is spicier than I thought, but okay, he's... Get some more these in there. Okay, this is not good. He's fucking CV90s though. Yeah, that wasn't what I wanted to happen, but okay. Okay, well we lost a big part of Bravo, which is not nice. See if you can kill that scout defender. It should have been dead already, but it was too careless, really. Supply trucks. That's a puff. Down with it. No, don't fly over. You're gonna fly over the Stinger if you take that route. Okay, that's that. That's very good. Jesus Christ! That's a fighting falcon again. Let's get a fucking ASF, shall we? I'm okay. I'm just stupid. Ooh, beautiful shot there. Beautiful. Okay, that's not beautiful. You're gonna lose to fucking FSK though. Yeah, get shit on. Get shit on. Okay, I guess since the tank here said we might be able to get in here with the IKVs and such. He should only have Fallskärmsjägare and maybe some damaged Stormer in there. I didn't fully pay attention. Get some of you in here maybe. And get some of you for Bravo so we can put them into the town once we got that back. The beacon surely is a big annoyance, I have to say. Or the beacons, plural I suppose. We can. I mean, they're mainly there for fodder, so sure, let's. You don't even have bad optics, you have poor optics, which is. You're right, he still is. They're the fucking man pets. Fucking veteran stingers. No joke, dude. Oh no, you're losing. Okay, that's bad. We don't have anything in helicopters, unfortunately. Let's get two of you as well for the left here. Oh, he's really good with those beacons, given the fact that they have 30 seconds aim time. You know what we're gonna do? Split you up. You don't get absolutely fucked by beacons. CV90s. Okay, go for this, please. Very good. Still, there's like a lot of vehicles on there. Like, he's actually being pretty decent. Then again, like, also common veteran, so that may explain why. Some knowledge I got for the town. Excuse, did you get sideshot by the IKV or what? Come on. Come on, Jack. Nicely done. Huh. It really... I take everything back. I was gonna say they really messed with those Stormer. There we go. Like there and there, sure. Oh, we don't have, never mind. Wait, we lost. Do we get only 2 of those? Were they upvetted? Did we only get 2 upvetted of those rocket power planes? Is that what happened? Oh no. Actually, no, that's fine. Actually, no, that's fine. That's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. No. You can go back up actually. That's LKV90. If you think I'm gonna give up on my hold on the left, you're wrong, kiddo. Probably turn this on. No, you. Well, this is clear, which is good. We lost our leopard, which is bad. That's a leopard. Let's get like, yeah, let's just get a Vilket for this side. It really bothers me that this is not actually, it doesn't count as cover. It really bothers me because it would be such a good spot for this side. I guess it could also be very decent, like not a very good, it's kind of obvious, but a spot for the opponent's CV. To counter cap, but oh, we did lose our ATGM helo, huh? So let's get a leopard on that side. He hasn't been using any ATGM planes, but he clearly didn't need to. He still dealt with basically all of my tanks so far. Those are FSK or fast Kiemi, I got it. How much AP do you have? 7, and you have 6 front armor, and it's not kinetic, so I only do like 1.5 damage per shot. It's hilarious. There's the beacon, but luckily I kept moving. Kind of. Let's get our own manpad like in here, and supply truck. Move our AA up. Oh, look at that! Oh, there's the ATGM plane. Down with it. Bam! Oh, I think they didn't even hit actually. I lost 2 of my 103Bs unfortunately, but honestly that's technically a good trade. Since ooh, you don't take that road. There's a fucking thing there, a thing. All right, well that assault failed. Let's also let's get one of you here so we can spot the NM again. And pew! I guess no pew then. These non-secret are so good. No, whoopsie. I thought I had my ASF selected. There we go. You're not supposed to be that far up. That's Fennec 20mm? Or Fennec Tattoo? I think it's a 20mm. No, it's Tattoo. Oh, are you sure you want to do this? It's a bit too aggressive with my Scout Defender. Oh, he also has one of these in there. Well, you did die, but I don't think the Hawks did anything once again. You have poor optics. Poor optics. Let's get another Scout Defender then. And supply you as well. That CV-90 is still alive. No. Let's get a CV. Actually, we do have infantry in a helicopter, and that's our CV infantry. Oh no. Please. Don't hurt me, I'm Razzmann. Supply trucks. I'm not sure let's do this. Oh come on, dude. Poor Herzstedt and Eck and Johannessen and Anderberg. Detract, really? CV-90. Interesting. It's a CV. You don't have line of sight, huh? Let's get a leopard down here. 103B. Oh, I gave the wrong one the attack order. I thought I chose the one that was not detract, but I gave the one that was detract the order. Oh no, you have no ammo left. Oh, and you might spot the Hawks. Ooh. Come on, 103s. Come on. Now you're aiming. Bam. And bam. Bing bang boom. Yep, he was going for the Hawks. Jesus Christ. Oh yes, Eric's in there still. Alright, the FSK squad. Let's get it. First of all, move our CV in. Second of all, Get a CV here as well. Third of all, get some more infantry to push with. And don't resupply the mortar, please. Let's get some more IQV 105s. Let's get some supply for our Nordensjägare. Alright, just try to flash him out of Foxtrot. We don't need to be too aggressive in Delta anyways. Keep monitoring this. Your 10 point supply trucks. I always forget that 2 are not nearly enough for stuff like this. Right, he still has exceptional optics garbage there. Let's move you a bit again. He might be able to spot them. Take this road. Let the CV move down here and then from that position in there, so he can't really see where it's going from that point on. He's probably going for this, right? And it's actually pretty dangerous. Oh no, he was going for the Hawks. Jesus Christ, I'm good. Oh no, no! That's 5 HP for you. Yep. That's 5 HP, such a big deal. And it goes for CVs too. And in case you don't know, 1 armor doesn't make any difference when it comes to HE damage like that. It makes a difference against infantry weapons, like you know, SMGs and infantry MGs. That's where it does make a difference, as well as vehicle MGs. But against any weapon, as far as I understand, any HE weapon that has the AoE tank, like artillery, or technically if you were to fire position with your tanks on other tanks or vehicles as opposed to using the AP gun, but for the sake of the argument, AoE guns, they deal just as much damage to 1 armor as they do to 0 armor. That goes for both like direct damage as well as to like the AoE effect, right? Like, you know, like when artillery shoots at something, and oh, that's an automatic. Oh, that's 2 automatics. You know, when artillery shoots at something, and they obviously don't hit directly, then they obviously don't deal the full 7 damage. In the case of the beacon, for example, right? So you know that's it doesn't. Oh, he did turn them off. And in that case, it also doesn't matter. You might think that against like the splash damage or something, 1 armor might help. I thought so as well, but no. There's literally no difference. Not when it comes to damage taken, not when it comes to suppression taken, I believe. So 1 armor, 0 armor, no difference. What obviously does make a difference is HP, and to a certain extent, off-road speed, right? How quickly are you able to evade incoming fire? Should you survive it, or should you see it coming? So that's why I'm not a fan of, or not less a fan of Jeep CVs that have like 55 km off-road speed, like 100 point CV from the USA or something. The USC has, I believe, 70, but I think most Blue for 100 point CVs have, I think, 55 km off-road speed. Oh, I killed one. That's why the Humvee, for example, is so much better. That's why you see people using. Ooh, that's yeah. Oh no, that's that's not the CV9. It is just a fucking. Oh, yeah, dude, you can't attack with that. That's why the Humvee is so good, because you know the armor doesn't matter, but you still get a 6 per card. You get the 10 HP, and you even get a 50 KLMG, which, believe it or not, is actually quite useful on a CV. Let's get some FSK. Dude, I'm actually absolutely dog shit at attacking this. I don't think I can just flash him out with 1 bot here. Storm Engineer are too strong. Pharaoh said it's still alive. Oh, he surrendered. Yeah. Alright. Well, I think I showcased how horrible the Wargame variant are. And I think it also showcased, even I didn't mention it until now, I think it showcased how important the transport can be. Or not can be, is. It had 5 HP, it instantly got popped by artillery fire that it dropped into. Granted, it was my own mistake, but you get the point. It could provide no fire support, it died instantly, and given the fact how immobile the infantry is, especially for immobile infantry, it really made it awful to attack with them. I think the more low end your infantry is, i.e., is it a reservist, line infantry, shock, or elite, the more important becomes the transport, right? Because infantry is already not very mobile, but elite infantry and shock infantry to an extent, they're not that bad, right? But line and especially regular infantry, when you rely on them to actually fight and not purely tank damage, then you rely a lot on a transport to get them into position, right? Into towns, into forests, and sometimes you rely on the transport itself to deal damage while your infantry only tanks. But when you also rely on the infantry to be there, then obviously the transport is quite a big deal. And that's why the Wargame are not good if you have to rely on them. I think there is a role for them, and I'll go into more into that in a second when we go into the armory. But I think if you have to rely on them, that's not very great, of course. Hawk only killed the fighting falcon, I believe. The Vigan did a very solid job, of course. Because one thing that is actually quite nice about the Wargame is the fact that their MG is the same as the line infantry MG. Because basically any weapon, any primary and tertiary, first and third weapon, not the anti-tank and other special weapons, they get increased accuracy, and in terms of the primary weapon, also increased rate of fire, right? That is, if you compare Dragoner with Livgarden, right? Same weapons. However, the MG3 has high accuracy, and that's literally the same weapon. It's only called LMG3 because it has a stabilizer. It's the exact same thing. But increased accuracy, increased stabilizer, increased rate of fire for the battle rifle and for the MG, increased accuracy and stabilizer, but rate of fire is the same. However, when you go down to the Wargame, they actually have the same accuracy on the MG, which is actually quite a big deal. Now, they cost the same, of course, but that is basically because they have a 5-point wheel transport. So I think there is a role for them, and that is to basically be in a defensive town, maybe forest position, if you purely want them, or maybe it doesn't have to be defensive, but just in a town position to purely fight infantry. But that is when you already have when you have control over it and you just want to fill it with infantry that is good enough versus incoming infantry, right? I think that's where they can be fine, because especially if they're upweighted or something on longer ranges, they'll perform just as well as Dragoner, right? So that's where they can shine. But again, the fact that the transport has 5 HP and no weaponry or anything that they can not necessarily defend themselves, but like at least affect the morale of the enemy units or something, means that they're insanely easy to it's insanely easy to prevent them from moving up anywhere. And then of course, taking into account that they're even slower than line infantry, once they're out of their transports, they're so incredibly immobile, it's going to be really tough to reposition them. So yeah. Yeah, having access to Stormer or Gewehrmann in the XA would have obviously been very, very good to have, because as you also might have noticed, or I just noticed, except for the XA 186 NO, the FSK, all of my actual fighting infantry had god-awful transports. no armor, and 5 HP. This one has at least 10, but it's not a big deal. And this one has 5 HP and 1 armor, which is basically the equivalent to 10 HP and no armor. Yeah. But of course, I think this game also showcased how horribly I played. Yeah, the AKVs were decent, but I think again the veterans really helped with that low accuracy. But being 10 points with 2 front armor and an okay HE DPS, is kind of a saving grace for this little thing. IKV 105. It's just a solid, nice little thing. It's the issue is just that it gets popped and killed so easily by recorded rifle squads like Norlandjäger, like Pechota. Even IFVs, if they get a bit too close, you may get one shot into them, but that's not enough to kill them, and then they just gun you down with their autocannons. It has some uses, but I think usually they're significantly better on low intensity front lines. On your flanks and stuff, where only side battles and not like the main pushes are going on. Medium optics is of course very nice also for that when they're in a defensive position. Only 8 RPM, so they will struggle against 9 and 10 RPM units like the Leopard, as we saw. Or automatics. Never really made use of that. It's an ISO for 30 points. So it's honestly not really horrible. The biggest issue is just autonomy and speed. If both of that were better, or at least autonomy, it could be kind of useful again on these kind of low intensity front lines, similar to a Polo. It does have the range and accuracy advantage over the Polo, but you sacrifice AP. But I think actually now that I look at it, the other big issue is it shoots only 1 missile at a time. One big thing about a Polo is that it shoots, I believe, it might be 4 or even 6 missiles before it actually has to reload. So that means if you miss or hit your very first missile, you instantly fire the second one, whereas this thing has to reload every 5 seconds, and that is actually a very, very big deal. Because if you get spotted, just after your second missile, or like if you allow the enemy to get too close, then you can't fire your second missile off. If the enemy just missed the first shot and you got lucky, you also won't really be able to hit the second missile because you're reloading, they're reloading, and by the time your ITO would have hit the second time, you're dead already. And with only 1 front armor, yeah. That's actually one of those important things that the armor doesn't really show, but that you can kind of read out, or you can either see on the model, or it's implied by the reload time, because missile systems that fire more than 1 missile with each cycle usually have like 20 seconds or something like that of reload time. Or maybe it's just 5 seconds per missile. I'm just curious right now. What about the Sturm? I think, no, it also fires 1. Bradleys, I believe, fire 2 at a row. They have 10 seconds. Yeah, that would make sense. Let's look at the Polo. 20 seconds. So maybe it fires 4, but I think 6 makes more sense since there's 6 on the chassis and it has 18, which is obviously 3 times 6. But I'm going off track here. Okay. Yeah, recon infantry, obviously, or recon tab. You want to fill the full tab. Recon and infantry is one of the 2 things that you get with the motorized specialization, and this deck obviously only made use of 1. Which is obviously not that big of a deal, since this is supposed to be like some more wacky kind of decks. But you get the gist. Hawks, I think, showed off that, for 40 points, they can do like some miracle hits here and there that, coupled with something like Vergs or something that will basically nearly always see 1 or 2 damage, which is just enough for the Hawks to finish them off. But I think the lack of range really showed where they have their limits. I think if you want to go for like these Hawk quote-unquote spams, I would go for the 60-point ones and get like 2 instead of 3 of the 40-point ones, because the range is really a big deal. If they were more mobile, that would not be as much of a thing, but given their lack of mobility, yeah. Actually, I'm curious, how does this compare to this little thing here? I think you get like 1 more missile for 5 points. Oh no, it's 3 missiles. Same range, same accuracy. It's literally the same stats, I believe. And this is 5 points more for a bit better armor and a bit better speed. Interesting. I always like memeing around with the Cub M's, but I never realized that they're basically worse Space Hawks. Once again, I'm getting distracted here. And yeah, that's the deck. Scandinavia is not that horrible of a deck, but obviously compared to meta picks like Entente, Baltic, Eurocore, you get the gist. Not that strong, and you lose a lot of very strong units like the CV90, the automatic, the beacon, the STRV 1-1, because every tank below the STRV 1-1 has some sort of issues. The mono 3 line with having no turret, which can really be annoying at times. Of course, in other times at 15 RPM will completely demolish anything your opponent sends in, you know? There are situations where these absolutely wreck everything, but then there are others where they're absolute dog shit. And then having only this as your best or second best tank with the turret is really annoying. Having no 5-point boxes with MG3 spam, etc. That can be quite a big deal. But Scandinavia, obviously not in this version, is a fun little deck that certainly, if you're in capable hands, can do some nice work, I would say. And I think we're gonna end it with that. I hope you enjoyed the video. Also, 2 per card up with it, indeed. 5 down with it, unfortunate. With that, we're gonna end the video, and I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one.